Hi, my name is Roxanne East, and I used to be Dylan East. And for a very long time, the song "This Is Gospel" by Panic at the Disco really resonated with me more than most songs that I've known, and I never knew why. I could never really piece together what the lyrics meant, not on the level of writing, but to me. And I just sort of realized, and I wanted to document what all of it sort of fell into place as. As a transgender person, I've been through a lot of different struggles with accepting myself and finding my place, and I'm still working on it. And this song is really important to me. So the first lyric is, "This is gospel for the fallen ones, locked away in permanent slumber." There is always gonna be, a part of me that isn't gonna wake up, I'm never gonna be perfectly what I want. No one ever will be, but you always gotta, keep trying and keep assembling your philosophies from the pieces of broken memories, as the next lyric would say. You're always trying to figure out, how you think, how you feel. It's a constant. If you're not thinking about it, you're probably not thinking clearly. From pieces of broken memories, when you go through things like traumas, even regarding just emotional stuff, it doesn't have to be physical. The way you remember things tends to fall apart. There's gaps and cracks, and my memory is really bad now, just on a regular basis, but even long term, there's holes and stuff, things you locked away. He goes into, "This is the beat of my heart, this is the beat of my heart." The beat of my heart is trying to grow as a person. There's a lot that I care about, and one of those things is, my friends, and it's really hard, it feels like my heart stops beating when, they leave, but sometimes it's necessary, and we'll talk about that, a bit later. The gnashing teeth and criminal tongues conspire against the odds. There is no words for the way that, the world perceives people who are, different and trying to be different because it's what they need. In a lot of places, like the Middle East and stuff, well, I don't live there, but it's literally a crime to be trans, And I feel like a criminal sometimes because I know it puts a strain on the people around me. There's a fear to it. And it makes me upset. My gnashing teeth aren't because I'm angry. My gnashing teeth are because I'm trying not to cry. But they haven't seen the best of us yet. The best of us yet is sort of that person that you're gonna be, 5 days or 5 weeks, months, years from now. You're always having to improve. And your best should constantly be changing. They're never gonna see the best of you. If you love me, let me go. There's, when it comes to people growing and changing, it's like you're losing that older version of yourself, and the people around you are losing the older version of yourself. And the people that love you and the people you love, you've got to learn to let that older person go, because they're becoming something better, something closer to them. Because these words are knives that often leave scars. If you try to force someone to stay in that state of mind, the one that's ultimately unhealthy for them, it leaves a lasting impact. I was closeted again for 4 years about being trans, and it was really dramatic. It's, really not fun. That's a scar, and scars fade over time, but, they're still there. There's still pain with, having that fear of losing people and actually losing people because of the way I identify myself. The fear of falling apart is basically, what if I'm wrong, What if this changes again, and that could be a rational or irrational fear, but there's no sense dwelling on, what bad things could happen when you're supposed to focus on the good things that can happen. And truth be told, I never was yours. If someone wants to, keep you static and hold you in a place in your life, they were never your real friend, and you were never a real friend to them, because real friends understand that you need to grow, and that sometimes you have to do difficult and odd things to grow. Let's see. This is gospel for the vagabonds. A vagabond is defined as someone who travels around without a home or a job. Now, I would take that sort of less literally as a purpose, always looking for the way that you could define yourself and why you're here, why you do the things you do, what you want to accomplish. That's the job, I have a home. I love my family. My family loves me. But purpose is always something that, I've had a hard time looking for, and I'm getting glimpses of it, but that's, besides the point of this recording. Ne'er-do-wells and insufferable bastards. As someone who suffers from depression, doing one bad thing can make me feel like a bad person. And if I do something wrong once, I feel like I never do something well, never do the good thing. Insufferable bastards, I constantly fear that my strain on people is too much, and I'm insufferable. I always fear that someone's gonna leave and just get tired of me. Confessing their apostasies. An apostasy is a renouncing of a faith or spiritual belief. Now I take that even into like political beliefs and stuff, because as you evolve as a person, you have to let go of some of the things that don't align with what you're finding is truly you. I was born into a Christian household, but that never really resonated with me because it was sort of frowning upon some of the things that are intrinsically me. As for spiritual beliefs, I no longer think that biology decides who you are so much as just, the way you were built beyond the biology. That spirit that you have, sometimes they don't line up. Led away by imperfect imposters. This goes back to, when I was closeted. A lot of people told me, no, that's not true, it's just a phase, and they were imposter friends. They were not real friends. And looking back, there was imperfections in all the times they tried to tell me they were. They weren't good at faking, I just needed people. Don't try to sleep through the end of the world and bury me alive. This goes, further into the idea of, the world is also constantly changing, and you have to change with it, or at the very least refuse to let the world move on without you. You have to keep your voice, because I won't give up without a fight. You always have to keep fighting, and I guess that's what I'm just trying to say, is that things are really hard a lot of times, but you have to keep fighting. You can't give up without a fight, because the person that you fight to become is gonna be a beautiful and valuable person, even if you don't feel it right now. For those of you who made it this far, thank you for listening. My name's Roxanne East. If you made it this far, you're one of my friends. You can call me Roxy. And I'll talk to you next time.